What's up, everybody? It's Neo Bands back with another tutorial. And if you haven't checked out my previous tutorial, I want to point out again that I'm not an expert product design person. I am somebody that has used Shapr3D, which is a 3D software program for the iPad that can be used with your stylus of choice or the Apple Pencil, which is my stylus of choice, to create 3D objects and 3D products. So if you have ideas for products, if you've created prototypes and you know your product can be 3D printed or something like that, then this is a way that you can create your own product in this 3D space and 3D print it or send it off to a company to create it for you. But you'll be able to use some of these basics tools to get the job done. And in this video, in this tutorial, I want to focus on the chamfer and the fillet and the difference between the two. So where we left off with the last tutorial was how to create a perfect square right here, which we've elevated above the plane as well. But that's, that's fine. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the plane floor. First, let's talk about what the difference is between a chamfer and a fillet. So when you tap on an edge, you see it's basically assuming that you want to either chamfer or fillet this edge. You can see that it comes up with the option to select chamfer or fillet. And when you drag out, you'll get a rounded edge, but when you drag inward, you'll get the hard edge. And from what I remember, one of those is a chamfer and the other one is a fillet, but I guess it's all under the same thing. So no matter which one you select, chamfer or fillet, it's the same thing. When you drag out, it's going to give you a rounded edge, a softer rounded edge, which could be a feature that you're looking to do, like I was looking to do with my pop adapter. And I'm gonna get to what the product is in another tutorial, but just to make the edges round. But if you want to make the edges flat and just angled at the edge, instead of this hard angled edge, you just drag in. And you want to keep an eye on the millimeters, the radius of the millimeters, for how deep you want it to go or how detailed it needs to be down to the exact numbers that you need. And one cool thing that you can also do is you can select multiple edges and you can either chamfer or fillet all of the edges at once. So if I wanted to do that and then come back to this side, where were we? 8 millimeters. You can start to create some interesting designs here by being able to do multiple sides at once. And you never know, this might be, not exactly what you're looking for, and you would want to go back and do it again if you want all of the sides to be the exact same, or maybe you want to go for something that's a little bit different like this. You want to just be able to know what is possible with the work that you are doing. But that's it. That's basically how you use the chamfer and the fillet for the edges of your design. If you want to smooth in the edges, make them, slanted like this instead of a hard 90-degree angle, or if you want to make the edges round, this is how it's done. And you can create some pretty interesting shapes like this as well. Be sure to subscribe, like, share the video with other people who you might think would be interested in learning about Shapr3D, and I will see you in the next video.